This podcast is sponsored by the book, The Biased Brain, by Bo Bennett, PhD. Dive into the world of cognitive biases and transform your understanding of reality. Get your copy today at thebiasedbrain.com.
How the paradox of choice shapes your decisions and marketing. Discover why having too many options causes stress and indecision, and how marketers use this paradox to influence your choices. The paradox of choice in marketing: why more isn't always better. Have you ever stood in front of a vending machine or scrolled through an online store, overwhelmed by the sheer number of options, only to end up feeling more confused than satisfied? That feeling isn't just you being picky, it's something psychologists call the paradox of choice, and it's a fascinating phenomenon that marketers both struggle with and cleverly exploit. So let's talk about what the paradox of choice really means and why it matters so much in marketing and in decision-making overall. What is the paradox of choice? At its core, the paradox of choice suggests that while having options may seem like a good thing, too many options can actually lead to less satisfaction, increased anxiety, and decision paralysis. When you're faced with a huge variety, your brain goes into overdrive, trying to analyze every possible outcome or consequence. This can overwhelm your human cognition and make it really hard to choose anything at all. In marketing, this is a particularly tricky dilemma. On one hand, companies want to offer enough variety to appeal to different tastes and preferences. On the other, if customers feel bombarded with too many choices, they might just give up and walk away or feel less happy with what they do choose. Why does this happen? It's all about our biased brain. Our brains are wired to look for the best possible option, but ironically, this often backfires when the options multiply. This brings us to the concept of cognitive biases and how they shape decision-making. When overwhelmed with options, a typical bias kicks in called choice overload, where we tend to avoid making decisions rather than risk picking the wrong one. This is one of many instances where understanding cognitive biases can shed light on everyday behavior. When marketing bombards us with endless choices, our biased brain might cause us to freeze or second-guess, leading to what's called buyer's remorse, even if the choice was objectively good. How marketers use and avoid the paradox of choice. A savvy marketer knows this and often takes steps to simplify the experience. In fact, many brands now do one of two things. Limit choices. By narrowing down products into a curated selection, marketers reduce the cognitive burden, making it easier for customers to decide quickly and feel confident. Segment choices. Organizing options into clear categories can help guide decisions, preventing the brain from feeling overwhelmed by too many scattered choices. Think about how Apple markets its products. There aren't dozens of iPhones with tiny differences. Instead, there's a manageable number of choices, allowing you to quickly zone in on which fits your needs without feeling stuck in an endless browsing loop. But it's not just about fewer options, it's about helping customers through the bias in decision-making. Marketers add reviews, ratings, or highlight bestsellers and staff picks to gently steer you toward a decision without making you wonder if you missed a better option. The role of critical thinking and biases in making better choices. When you recognize that your brain might be biased or overloaded, you can practice better critical thinking to make decisions that truly fit your needs. Sometimes that means setting your own boundaries, like limiting how many options you consider, or figuring out the few features that really matter to you. This approach can reduce the stress that comes with choice overload and help you make decisions with confidence. In a world full of endless options, awareness of how your mind works, how bias in decision-making kicks in, and can empower you. For anyone curious about the fascinating workings of our minds and how biases affect every aspect of our lives, the book The Biased Brain by Bo Bennett, PhD, is a great resource. It offers insight into the many ways our thinking can mislead us and how to gently correct for that. If you want to explore how your own mind might be tricking you and learn how to spot and manage those biases for better decisions both as a consumer and in life, explore the book and unravel the secrets of your mind today.